Hi guys, it's Marc Zicree, Mr. Sci-Fi, and I wanted to talk today about Robin Williams. And I know it's been on many of our minds, and we're feeling a lot of sadness about losing him. And I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. The purview of this channel is Sci-Fi, and of course Robin Williams first came to major prominence playing Mork from the planet Orc. And, you know, science fiction comedy is sort of a different genre than science fiction drama. It's usually with science fiction comedy, there's really no attempt at scientific plausibility. It's mainly utilized for social satire and comedy. And it was a terrific platform for Robin Williams to be able to observe the human condition. And then, of course, he went on to the spectacular career he had, both in comedy and serious roles. And of course, you know, he played the genie in Aladdin, and that was another great opportunity for him to exercise his gifts. You know, but it's you know, at times like this, you know, it's such sadness, because with people like Philip Seymour Hoffman and Robin Williams, when they have such a sad death, it's you know, we feel like we knew them, and we wish that we could have somehow intervened, and you know, they were very loved and appreciated and incredibly talented. But of course, that's the illusion of film and TV. We didn't know them, and you know, and the face they presented to us was only a partial view of who they truly were. But that said, I actually did meet Robin Williams once, and many years ago, Joe Straczynski put on a benefit for Harlan Ellison to help him save his house. Harlan Ellison's a very famous science fiction writer, Star Trek and Outer Limits, many other amazing credits. And Robin Williams was a friend of Harlan's and came that evening to speak along with a number of the other esteemed and very famous guests, many of whom were science fiction writers. And the thing that stood out for me that evening was all of these others were professional writers, and they were very used to giving talks and speaking, and they were entertaining. And then Robin Williams got up to talk, and he spoke off the cuff, and he was amazing. He was talking about Harlan, and it was with knowledge, and it was sharp, but also loving, very well observed, very, very funny, very intelligent. And I was blown away by his brilliance and his humanity, because, you know, I knew I was in the presence of greatness and a great gift. And it was sort of like everyone else was driving a Toyota, and this guy drove up in a Maserati in terms of what he did. And so you know, I'd of course followed Robin Williams' career, and The Fisher King is almost like a science fiction role. It's definitely on a fringe kind of role, but great, and many of his roles were great. But you know, but also someone I mentor, I was speaking with last night, and he had worked more recently with Robin Williams, and he talked about just how kind Robin Williams was, and how just what a gentle spirit, and how kind he had been to this person, and didn't, when he didn't need to be, because, you know, it wasn't, you know, he could easily have just blown him off like any Hollywood star would tend to, but he didn't. He really was a good guy. So I think what I also want to mention at this point is, you know, with the loss of Arlene Martell, who played Spock's fiancée, I mentioned that the other day, and now, of course, Lauren Bacall as well. You know, we all die one way or another. It's very sad what happened with Robin Williams. I'm glad that the word is getting out about mental illness, and intervening with people who are manic depressive or just depressive, because many of us who write film and TV and books or appear as performers, you know, we're in this career because we have some darkness in our past, some demons pursuing us. I mean, when I wrote The Twilight Zone Companion, I saw that many of those people became writers, those brilliant writers, because they had had a serious trauma when they were children. Something had isolated them and made them different and made them feel apart, made them observational. So with Robin Williams and Arlene Martell and Lauren Bacall, you know, the one great gift, of course, is that, you know, as a species, we've been around for hundreds of thousands of years, but it's only in the last 100 years that if you heard about someone from a past generation or a past time, and you say, well, were they as great as people say? Were they really all that? We can go and look. And so we can watch Arlene Martell in Star Trek or Twilight Zone or Outer Limits with that staggering beauty, or Lauren Bacall in The Big Sleep and See how just phenomenal she was, how unique and just no one like her. And then Robin Williams, again, one of a kind. And so we can share that. We can take the best of ourselves. We can be the best of ourselves for the camera, for the audience. And so in this sadness, in this moment of sadness, we can also at least appreciate, as so many are, the gift he gave to us, the best of himself. Because however haunted Robin Williams was, however ultimately undone by the darkness within him, he built a life and a career. He had a loving wife and loving kids, and millions of people around the world loved him and will continue to do so. And people unborn their lives will be made better by the fact that he was here. And so I just, in closing, it's funny, in terms of an afterlife, I don't know if there's an afterlife. I personally don't believe in an afterlife, but I always tell people I'm willing to be pleasantly surprised. So we'll see. And I'd love there to be a loving, kind afterlife, and I hope there is one. But in terms of life, people ask me often the meaning of life, and I say the meaning of life is to have one. And clearly Robin Williams had a life that was worth having, whatever his demons, whatever overtook him. And the other thing, in terms of the secret of life, years ago I had to give a talk to a bunch of parents and kids, and I wanted to say something other than just talking about writing for TV. And I had to figure out the secret of life, and I had to make it simple. And I said, as near as I can tell, the secret of life is be happy, be kind, be brave. And sometimes you can't be all of those things at once. But in our journey, in our lives, if we can just try to find happiness, try to be kind on a daily basis, and when confronted with the challenging choices in life, to step up, to be brave, it'll be a good life. It'll be a life worth having lived. So, again, it's a moment of sorrow, and that's what life hands us in terms of joy and happiness and the sad times. But it's good to be here with all of you. Thank you for watching these little videos I'm doing. God knows what I'll say tomorrow and the day after and the day after. Feel free, if you want to leave any remembrance of Robin Williams or Arlene Martell or even Lauren Bacall, who I also thought was terrific. Comment, subscribe, share. We're here every day, and we're going to be putting this up on iTunes as well if we can. And but again, thanks so much for being here and being a part of my journey. And we'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.